Hi there, folks. Welcome back to Mossy Roots Farm. So today we're going to be going over some fall grazing plans, what we've already done, and what we plan on doing still. So in a previous video I showed some fencing, and we're going to be fencing off our hay field so that our cows can graze our hay field, what should have been third crop hay. But right now they are in a completely different section. This is one that I normally have them in throughout the summer, and that might be obnoxious with the water running. Let's move away from it. They are normally in this throughout the summer, and it did not regrow nearly as well as this stuff did down here. So this stuff down here, it regrew really well, and it was able to sustain cows for 3 days and still have this amount of leftovers, or rollover, if you shall call it that. But over here, I'm thinking they're only going to get about 1 day out of this. And in fact, I'm only going to give them 1 day, because there are some, like down there towards the barn, there's a lot of good grass, but up here, there's really not. You know, there's some, like when you look, it comes up to Mama's ankles, not her knees, but her ankles for sure. So there's still some grass up here. But we're trying it out. This is part of the testing that I like to do. So I'm testing to make sure that what I'm doing here is going to work over here. Now you may ask, well, if you're doing the same thing, how are you going to know? Up here is not going to get done at all. I'm not grazing the last 2 sections up top. Just these 2 sections down here are going to get grazed, because I want to do a good comparison. You know, down here we have a piece that's really close to those trees. And then we have a piece that's farther from the trees. Very obvious, I know. But those trees provide a lot of shade in the summertime for the grass over there, and it grows really well. So if I only grazed this section and the section straight above it, that's not a good fair comparison. Now the section above the house, or closer to the house, that does not grow well at all. That is a major issue that we have. It does not grow well at all. But we are able to try some of the theories that some of these people have come up with. So one theory is do not graze in the fall, let it fallow over winter, and then it'll grow better in the springtime. Because, you know, stuff like this, for example, there'd be more growth in something like this than if they ate it to the dirt, like what you see right here. So we're technically trying that theory out, and I haven't grazed that up there for probably 90 days, 120 days at this point. I'm just guessing. So it's had a long time to rest. Now that's fall rest, but little red magic is eating off a not his mama. See that little cutie thing in there? His mama is that one with the horns staring at me. And that's just a dumb jersey. But I wanted to test some of that stuff out. This is a perfect place to test it. This stuff needs better regenerative farming practices, and not that I'm doing them poorly. I just, in the springtime, like I've said in prior videos, I started too soon. 2 years ago I started way too soon, and this year, or this past spring, I definitely started too soon. So I'm getting there. I just need to be patient. But we're going to try it out. We're going to see if I need to leave all this stuff in the fall. Because here's the other option. If I leave all this stuff in the fall, is that going to allow for quicker regrowth in the springtime? Because if I get quicker regrowth in the springtime, I can start grazing sooner. But if it's going to start growing and start being grazed the same time, regardless, you know, not the same time every year because weather conditions, but the same time regardless of what I did years prior, well, then it doesn't matter if I do this. I could almost eat it to the dirt. But in my other tests, I know that not to be true. I know I need to leave stuff long like I have here, or similar to how I have it here, because it does regrow better in some of the previous tests that I've done. And that's something that maybe I just look into doing, like one fall, if it's a really good bumper crop, you know, I have a lot of hay, whatever the situation may be, hay's really cheap, let's say, maybe I let the whole farm stop grazing it in August and then feed hay from August until May, or whenever the spring growth starts, because then that would explode me for the next year. But I have to be careful, because that's not sustainable, because that's going to be more hay than I will ever be able to produce on my small acreage. So there's things like that that I'm trying, testing out. a buddy of mine told me about potential workings that I could do with a neighbor. I got someone close that maybe wants to either graze some cows or at least do hay or whatever the case may be for their little pasture that they have set up. I just don't know if I'll be able to get to that because I haven't talked with the neighbor yet or anything, but it's definitely in the works. Mama cow, could you please stop trying to take down the electric that keeps you where you belong? That would be a great thing if you could do that, please. Also, if you're wondering why these cows are so interested in me right now, it's because I have a baby cow sitting right next to me that is up my butt. And it loves coming out to the farm and doing farm dog things. It's okay. We love you, yes. Yes, it has an obsessive compulsive disorder where it must be touched by human. All right, say goodbye. Bye, Jerseys. See you on the next one.